This look on Sally, I have never seen. What's Grandma doing to you, baby?
Does that go around her leg like that?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
What is that doing?
Oh, God. I don't. I'm trying to figure out how it's on there.
Because this goes around there.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing so hard because of her. Look at her face. It's hilarious.
Is that right?
It comes under her back. Looks like it. She wasn't far off.
She's gonna hope that these people hate me now.
Yeah. Well, at least we haven't had to throw her over a log.
I'm sorry, Sally. I'm sorry.
Alright, so we've all packed up finally. Mainly me. I'm slow this morning. But man, it's just really pretty. Mom's got her pack on. She said it feels a little heavier with that Ridge Runner. As we switched, I'm carrying my dream hammock now. Mom's carrying the Ridge Runner. But Sally's circling camp like a shark. Like, please, come on, let's go. Pack's on. But we'll hit the trail and show you all the way. Alright, time to hit the trail. Beautiful little campsite. Beautiful. So today we've got roughly 9 or so miles. A little less, a little more. It just depends on what campsites we see. Because I'll be honest, like after a beauty spot, it don't really show any campsites past Iron Horse Gap or something like Iron Mountain Gap. No, Indian Grave Gap. I'm sorry. So it only shows the shelter, and I'm not one to stay in a shelter typically, and hammock systems don't typically work in shelters, so I'm hoping that there's a couple of campsites maybe before there, make like a 5-mile day out or something tomorrow. But it's really pretty. We'll just see where we end up today. But at least we get to cross beauty spot today. We'll probably take a nice long break up there. And yeah, we'll just show you all the way. Dad, you can quit your sassing now. What you smell? What you smell? See, now here's a campsite. .11 from where we stayed last night. You'd probably hang a hammock right there. Maybe another one down here. Decent fire ring though. I mean, you'd be on a slope here in a tent, so it's not really the best site for a tent. And it's kind of lumpy and reedy and all that, so I mean, I just don't see a good place for a tent here. I mean, you probably set one up right there. About as flat as you're gonna get. Really? Looks like there's a little smaller campsite right there on the right here at 0.32. And a nice fire ring over here. You can tell this must be a popular one because there ain't much wood laying around. But a really, really nice spot. Definitely good for tents and hammocks because like right here's a good tent spot. Oh, here's a pretty good sized drop off here. That's cool though. Cool rock outcropping. Anyway, last I was right 0.32. Now I'm at 0.34. This is just so cool. You can see here's a tent spot, probably aside from this route. Yeah. Oh. I laid you off the path. We're supposed to stay to the left of the tree. Yeah, it's not hurting as bad, but I did take a Tylenol last night. But I will say, I slept good in the hammock last night. It was great. I mean, I do my normal sleeping pattern where I sleep a while, wake up, sleep a while, wake up. But I gotta wake up and I see the stars or see the moon. It's really nice. Mom said she slept good.
I slept pretty good.
Yeah.
I slept better than I normally do. I just decided I'd go to sleep.
Yeah. I think we were just so tired. It was like sleeping was the only option. But, yeah, I just tried.
Got to sleep and then I woke up again. Later.
Yeah.
I think when I started hearing things fall.
Yeah, because that was one thing, like in the middle of the night, like just limbs started like falling. Like you could hear them hitting the ground. So that was like, oh, that's concerning. But none of them hit where we were at. Mom had some bark on her like bug net or whatever, but no limbs fell, so we're thankful for that. Nice fire ring. This is at 0.6. Yeah. I mean, like if you just one setup, you could hang here probably. I mean, you could probably hang here too. So you could probably get 2 setups here. Nice fire ring here though. Place for a tent. Pretty nice. Only one real good spot for a tent right there on the other side of that log. You might could set one here, but it's kind of lumpy. Yeah. So at 1.06, there's a trail turns left, but there's a trail going up to the right here. Oh, it's a road. Yeah, so this is Forest Service 230 Unaka Mountain Road. It's right there in this sharp bend. I mean, it looks like there's a wide enough spot there for one car to park at least. So from this road up to the summit is 1 mile to the top of Unaka. So 1.26, there's a small view. I'm pretty sure this is beauty spot right here through the trees. Or at least where the summit is. I don't see the open field of beauty spot, but can't wait to be up there. Take a nice break. But I will note that just this past week they reopened the road to beauty spot. So I don't expect to have it to ourselves this time. I was kind of hoping the road would stay closed until after this trip, but that looks like bear poop. Huh? I was just watching the bees. So this is near Beauty Spot Gap, I believe, 1.55. And right over there is a rock with a blue thing for there being a water source over there. So if you need water. But I just checked the map and we do not cross this road. We actually parallel it, surprisingly. So I don't know if you can actually park here or not. No. I was just seeing if there was parking. So it's wide enough right down there for parking. Look at the top of Unaka. It's cool. We're having a lar bar moment. I had the peanut butter cookie. Mom's having a cherry pie. Before we make this next climb. And I might grab something else on. Just wait. Maybe I'll have my mezcla bar. So we stood there, had a nice little breakfast. I was like, Mom had the cherry pie lar bar. I had the peanut butter one. And I also had my peanut butter Peruvian cocoa peanut butter bar by Mezcla. And some electrolytes. I got liquid IV. Liquid IV mixed up. It was their immune blend. Mixed berry, I think. Making our way up the trail. think it's like, I just checked Farout, it's like 300 feet roughly elevation gain to get to the top of the beauty spot. So definitely one of the easier climbs we've had, but after what we've done the last 2 days, we're just kind of feeling tired.
It might have just been over. Oh yeah, down through there goes the barbed wire.
Yeah. So you may used to have to go up and over.
Yeah,
Maybe. You never know, this may have been open at one time, you know. So you think that's gonna be the only fungus you see? It's right there. It's all over the bank over here. And it's all around this tree. Look at that. That's crazy. Huh. Oh, it's even on this side. Look how big some of those are.
Yeah. Clusters. Yeah. Oh, but they're just all along the bank here.
Gotcha.
Woody woodpecker. Oh, we must be almost there. Yeah, we're almost up here.
Yeah. I just love how that trail was cutting through the woods. Guess that's another cut through to the road. Yep.
Oh, look, that old blanket. In the fireplace. I had cake in here. Cake something.
Well, it seems like a really good place to camp.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not like, you know, worn down. But I mean, this would be a nice little campsite. You got a campfire ring there. Nice soft grass to set up on. Close to the road though. But
That's frost flares right there.
oh, these. And you call that purple thing Queen of the Meadow?
That's what we call it.
Yeah. And then this is frost.
We call that frost flare.
Oh.
That predicts frost. It'll be 6 weeks till frost.
Cool. So anyway, this is at 2.05. Oh, Mom, look. Nice view here looking back at Unaka.
Oh, I didn't.
That's what I was pointing at.
Oh.
Really nice view here. And I will note that since the shelter, we have not seen any water. I know up there at Beauty Spot Gap, there's allegedly water, but I mean, just as far as easy access by the trail, there's been nothing. So definitely is a section where you need to plan like water carries and stuff, I feel like. But really pretty trail. The dangers of having a trekking pole is bathroom breaks, is remembering to pick it up when you get back on the trail. So that's, Mom's headed back to get her pole. Luckily we haven't come too far. But I don't know, around the 2.43 mile mark, we crossed over something that maybe it looked like it would typically have water, but it was dry. Just not a lot of water out here right now. Interesting.
I guess maybe a lot of them exposed.
Yeah. So this is at 2.89. So there's the parking area. View spot if you drive up here, 3.14. Here's a nice campsite here. See, so right down there you'd park and we camp right here. I'm not sure if there'd be another like campsite down here. This may just be where people are using the bathroom at.
That's a cool view, though.
Mm-hmm. You want to just sit here and take a break?
I guess we can.
Once you lay down, you can't see anything.
Sit down, neither one.
Woo.
I thought I got my...
Sally's back there in the grass. Somewhere. There she is. She's over there. Mom's like, I thought we were going.
Go.
herself a nest over here. Hi, boo. This is so pretty.
Why too pretty? It's got the pink in it. Oh yeah. Come on.
It sure is pretty up here. Oh, that's the Noah Chucky. Is that a river right there? So the little water thing, I don't know if y'all can see that on film or not. But there's like a, you can tell it's a river. It's the North Toe River. So 3.31, there's a campsite. No firing. Looks like everybody's using that as a toilet. And it would, I mean, this probably could be used by somebody as a campsite if you were desperate, but it's on a severe slant. So I'm not going to mark this as a campsite because I don't think anybody wants to sleep around that much toilet paper. .62. Looks like it. Assuming this is like the old fire pit, maybe. I think so. Somebody's tried to make it one anyway. I mean, you could definitely hang in here in a hammock. Stay with me. You can hang here. Hang probably from there to there. But back on the main trail, 3.64. 3.71 looks like there's another campsite. Not heavily used, but it'd be definitely nice because it's all grassy. And got a grown up fire pit. And it definitely looks like it would have been heavily used at one time. Maybe it's just in the winter or something. But pretty nice, especially for a tent. Not very hammock friendly. So it's always a good time, whether or not we're having a misadventure or not. We always seem to go back and laugh about it. Yeah.
Is that what you think's Mount Mitchell?
Yeah, nice little view at .01. I don't know if that's actually Mount Mitchell, but I'm pretty sure that's in that Black Mountain range anyway. So since we left camp 4.3 miles ago, there has been zero water that we've seen. So we gave Mom gave Sally some of her water, and she was drinking it out of this stump. So, and it's crazy because we was up at our beauty spot and some girl asked us if I wanted her extra water, and I said no, I should have taken it. But
she probably wouldn't drink it.
Yeah, if it's been filtered, she won't drink it. I don't know if she's thirsty enough.
I reckon she's not liking the water.
So this is the road to Beauty Spot Gap Road, 4.43. So looks like this is just a parking area, maybe. Looking. So I mean, you probably fit a couple of cars in here. There's a campsite, 4.55. Set up tent right here. But there is quite a bit of dead trees here. So use your discretion. But decent fire pit. I mean, just clear it out a little. .61, there's a campsite on the right. Yeah, definitely more tent friendly. Plus you got this big tree leaning, but it's leaning that way. Got a nice big fire ring. Looks like people are setting up a tent back here, maybe too. Maybe hammocking up in there. And I think those trees there might be dead. It's not the best place, but I mean, it looks inviting just with it being flat and mossy and stuff. But definitely tent friendly. Like, you definitely tent. Like right back in there, maybe right in here, and maybe on the other side of this down limb. I wonder if that's a campsite. This is at 4.93. I bet this is just a bathroom trail. Yeah, I don't see a campsite or anything. It looks like just an old road, yeah. Back on. Yeah, back on main trail, 4.96. Our lines are 4.96. Looks like this is an old campfire camping area. I don't think I'd want to camp under the power lines though. I'd come back like on Saturday or something, you know, and I'd hike first. I just checked. Far out, we're about 3 miles from the next water source. Huh? So we're approaching Indian Grave Gap. And I think this is the last like road crossing before getting to Erwin. So this is Beauty Spot Gap. This is the gravel road we crossed earlier. I don't know what that's for. So crossing this road at 5.66. Sally, stay with me. Let's go. And let the climbing resume. And I will know, allegedly there is a water source down there from Shinbone Creek, but I'm not going to road walk just to get water. So, thankfully we got enough, hopefully, to get us the next 3 miles. But, whew, it's been a tough section. First, especially the first 2 days, and then just having to carry extra water and everything, manage water. It's always a pain. But it's been a gorgeous trail, though. Huh. What this used to be. Some sort of information board? Huh. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe it's an old registration board or something. So here's our campsite. 5.73. Definitely more tent friendly. A nice fire pit. But a very large dead tree. No, it's very, very much tent friendly, not hammock. 5.77. Here's a campsite. It's got a real nice fire ring. Looks like they recently cleaned it out. Hammock. Well, that's a dead tree. But you definitely set a tent right here. Probably set a tent there, I guess, because it looks like that tree's leaning that way. I mean, it's a little, like, just tent site. Definitely more tent friendly than hammock. Start on my second pack of energy chews. So I'm trying out these new ones, the Block Sours, green apple flavor. And we'll keep on the trail.
That might be what we get into.
I hope not. So far, this section here has got us concerned. Both campsites we've seen had dead trees. But we'll just see what we see. That's where we end up. It's a very large stand of dead trees. We're hoping this ain't what all of it's going to be like going to Erwin. Otherwise, I don't know what we're going to do. Tell you one thing, that breeze feels good. 6.14. Looks like there's a side trail here. Maybe. I don't know. It looks like an old road. I mean, there is a campsite here, though. I mean, I don't think I would want to camp here at the end of a dead-end road. So this is at 6.16. I don't know if maybe there'd be something more that way. We'll walk over there. So this is definitely a nice little site here. It's kind of garbaged up though, so we won't stay here, but definitely a nice little site. Definitely hammock friendly. Not too many dead trees here. But we'll head back to the trail. Keep on going. So it's just kind of a dead end road here. Sally's gonna load up on some water. I wouldn't be surprised if she lays in that. Did you get you some water? Nice coat of mud on your feet. Did you get a nice coat of mud on your feet? Yeah. Come on. But that would be a really nice sight if somebody cleaned it up. I don't know if somebody's like trying to stay in there or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're back on the main trail, 6.24. All these orange mushrooms. So here's a campsite, 6.49, not very tent friendly. It's very slopey. You might set one up here, but you're gonna be on a downhill slant. Probably more hammock friendly, but no, not the best campsite in the world. We'll keep going. Well, and just like we have seen no water anywhere. Like none.
We supposed to have already seen water?
No. But I mean like I was like surely there's some sort of something. Nope. I guess it's just because you're up on top of these ridges and stuff, you know. I don't know if this is supposed to be a water source or not, but it's dry. This is it. 6.77. I thought I heard them. Yeah, they're coming. Well, that was a little worrying because they didn't say that the creek before the shelter was running. They said there was some nice campsites, but no water. And we kind of need water. So, I don't know. We'll just see. They said the source at the shelter was running, but I mean, I don't know if there's room at the shelter for us to hang hammocks. And so, I don't know. We'll just see where we end up today. Oh, goodness. So we'll just see. So here's like another, it looks like it would be a source in wet conditions, but 6.84, it's dry. But like the ground's wet. But just nothing running, unfortunately. 7 miles in. Okay, looks like here's a nice campsite. This is it. $7.28. Yeah, nice fire ring here. Definitely good for hammocks right here. Got a good tent spot. I guess you might could set up a tent back here, but it'd be kind of lumpy. But yeah, just no water here at all. But definitely a nice little site for hammocks if you had water. Back on the main trail, 7.31. I think we're all tired, ready for camp. I mean, this has been pretty though. It's really pretty. Relatively, yeah. Yeah, Mom saw this rock mess and she's like, ah! There's some different ferns. Yeah. It's another dry source. According to the map, it shows like a stream here, but it's dry. This is 7.92. So here's another one. It's supposed to be a stream. The ground's wet, but there's absolutely nothing flowing. 8.18. I'll say it shows there being like a little stream on the map, but it ain't one. I hear water. There's water here, but it ain't enough to actually get. So at least Sally can get some water. I guess we'll just have to wait. It's flowing a little bit right there, but that's not enough really to fill up anything. Now this is at 8.55.
This time and 30 miles the next time.
And I will say, especially since we've crossed at that last gap, there's really not been a ton of space to like get off trail, like use the bathroom or anything. It's like either straight up or straight down. So well, this is running. This is at 8.78. I was able to change the leaves around a little bit so we got a little bit better flow. Said it just took one off the back of the rock there. But we're filling up, filled up one bottle. I'm just filling both of her bottles up, and then I'm going to carry a small purple one full. Less than a mile to the shelter. No elevation gain, allegedly. What? That's a little narrow right there. My watch lies. It says 0 climbing, and we've been climbing. Well, because it's funny because it says 0 ascent to the shelter, and yet I feel like we're ascending. .15. There's a tree across the trail. There. Go, 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 go. Just look at me. Jeez.
Don't leave me up over it.
Sorry, I don't even know if I can get over it. Well, it's just kind of an awkward angle because it's not just one, it's two. So here's another little water source, but I mean, you'd have to scoop it. 9.32. Get you some water, Sally girl. Get it. Nice view at 9.57.
The only difference is Bartram's was much more
Vertical.
severe. There's a little bit of bumps in this jump.
It used to be here. Is that a road?
Is That's the shelter.
No, Curley Maple. Shoot, I can't speak. Curley Maple Gap. So it's just before the shelter.
Let's come back.
Where?
We have to tell we came there.
I wonder what's back here. Anyway, this is at 9.75. So I'm gonna wander back here, see if there's trees or anything. Well, there is a fire pit here. But absolutely no trees for hanging. This is at 9.77. Alright, I guess we'll go on to the shelter. For me, 9.81. We're back on the trail. I mean, theoretically, you could probably camp right here. It's flat. Right there, right there. I'm surprised nobody's put a fire ring here. You know? It's just weird. Like, you put a fire ring way back there, but you don't have one right here. I'll just go ahead and make a note now. Is what we have made it work with 2 hammocks is very hard to do, and you kind of have to pass up on campsites. Like, we would have probably stopped at that last one if we'd had a tent option, but I wanted to be stubborn and both of us bring hammocks, but it's not easy to do on this section. I mean, up on Unaka is fine, and that gap where we stayed was fine, but today, like most of the campsites we've passed today are definitely more tent friendly. So, something to consider. Well, at least we're not having to go down that daggum hill to get to the shelter. It is right here. Well, it's a nice shelter. So this is the Curley Maple Gap shelter, I believe. Nice picnic table. We'll be making use of that. That's a nice shelter. It looks like maybe they kind of redone it and painted it a bright color, which definitely helps. But we'll go over here and see if we can find space for the hammocks. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. It's just a lot of leaning trees. Jeez. Nice fire pit. We're going to be making use of that. Oh, a little fire pit over here. So we're in quite the dilemma because the next campsite is another 1.5 miles, and we don't know if it's actually hammock friendly or not. Because the people we come across, they said it was a really nice site, but is that nice for tents? I don't know. So we got here. This tree's leaning that way. There's a dead tree there. The tree leaning there. This tree here's dead. That tree over there's leaning. This tree here's leaning. And, you know, like, these two you could hang from, but you're going to be over this ginormous stump tree log thing. This is pretty much too short for any kind of hammock. This you might do, but I mean, again, this tree is leaning. Who knows how safe that tree is. And then if you go from there to there, or there to there, dead tree. So I think we're going to try to hang one of the hammocks in the shelter, and then one of us is going to sleep just in the shelter. So I might play around with it and sleep in the loft and just see if I can get a hammock up there, but I'm just not super worried about it because I don't feel like going any further. So we're calling it a day at, I think it's 9.9. Yeah, 9.94. So we're just gonna make it work. That's a beautiful evening, but I'll show you this because definitely glad we got water where we did, even though we had to carry it up here. Because the water source here, unless you got something to scoop water with, you're not going to get water here. Personal opinion. I mean, I just think it would be very hard to fill like the bags that I typically use, and it seems like most people use, or fill up a bottle. This is the water source. I mean, there's a little more flow down there, but I mean, you're standing in mud at that point. I mean, it's not really, it's flowing a little, but it's just not. Open a little tap hole. Anyway, so that's, I saw that earlier and I was like, surely that ain't the water source. But sure enough, it is. So, yeah. I mean, this is a really pretty sight, but just not a lot of trees that's well spaced. And like this thing, I don't even know if my straps would fit around this. So, that's like dead, leaning. Just a lot of leaning trees, so hopefully this one don't come crashing down on the shelter. And we collected up some firewood, so nice fire this evening. But for now, we're going to try to cook up some dinner. Whew. Alright, so for dinner, Mom's having chicken and dumplings with vegetables. Mountain House. I'm having stars and shells, Tuscan kale white bean stew. I'm gonna throw in a thing of white chicken. And I'm also having dessert, organic fruit snacks. Oh, and we're having marshmallows by the fire later. Because Mom's like, we carried them all weekend. I carried them all weekend. We're using them. So, we just need to find a stick to whittle. It's an absolutely beautiful evening here. Like, you stand in the shelter and you think it's way darker. But then you come out here and it's like, oh, it's actually not too bad. It's really pretty. Oh, I gotta whittle some sticks to roast marshmallows with. And yeah, we're just gonna eat down here. That way, enjoy the last little bit of daylight. Yeah. But it tastes good? Mm-hmm. Curry flavor. I haven't opened mine yet. Let's see what it's about.
Will you eat a dumpling?
She's like, maybe.
You want it?
Sally, you want a treat? It's on the rock. Go get it. It's on the rock. Hey, look over there.
Here, Sally. Here, Sally. You like the dumpling? Down here, so
yeah. Marshmallows. Now whittled a couple of sticks.
and some toothpaste, toothbrushes.
Yep, Mom's gonna clean her teeth after.
I don't toast mine as much as you do. I just want it warm.